welcome to my podcast, Confessions. I believe that true healing starts when we stop hiding and living in fear of our truths. So I decided to create a safe space to share your truths and just be unapologetically you. You have the freedom to share the raw and unfiltered parts of your journey. Remember, transparency equals transformation, and there is power in your truths. Today, I want to talk about. I want to speak to the lovebirds. You're in a relationship. You're happy. Everything's going well. And then all of a sudden, one spouse becomes ill. The whole dynamic of your relationship changes. And for most of us, we don't think about that. What happens when that one spouse becomes ill? And I'm going to speak first from the wife's perspective. I'm with my husband. He becomes totally dependent on me. The roles change. He becomes totally dependent on me. I'm now taking care of him, the household, the children, and everything. And as a man, he's going to feel less than. So that creates a rift in your marriage, in your relationship. As a wife, it's the same thing. You're going to feel less than as a woman because you're no longer able to do the things that you used to do as a healthy wife. But as I was researching this topic, I was surprised to learn that in the case of divorces, it normally stems from when the wife gets sick. So let's think about that for a minute. Why is that? As women, I know we are nurturers. If our husbands become sick, we're going to take care of them. But the reality is most husbands will leave us when we become sick. So that's something that I think we need to prepare for. We're in the season of preparation. And this is something that we all need to think about. And when this subject was brought to me, as I began to think about it, I was thinking along the lines of older people getting sick, and I work in healthcare and I see these couples coming in, young couples, maybe in their late 20s, early 30s, one spouse is sick and they hadn't prepared for that. So it's just something that I feel we need to talk about, discuss. So today, my guest is here. She's going to help us with this topic. Her name is Savonya. I can't say welcome to Confessions, but Savonya's 5 years deep.
Yes.
She was one of my first guests.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for having me back.
How are you?
I'm blessed. Day by day, living day by day.
So what have you been up to lately?
Well, for myself, you were just speaking about health and everything. For myself, I've taken some health challenges in my life. My knee, actually going through postmenopause, so, and being in a relationship and a past relationship as well as a current relationship of dealing with a spouse and, sicknesses and health issues.
So tell us about that. What is that like? What happened? Can you tell us what happened?
Well, being in a past relationship with that, it was more where men are more, how can I say it? They're more reserved when it comes to their health issues. They don't like to be able to communicate about that. They because they was taught, to be strong, don't show sign of weaknesses, and being in a relationship, they don't want to show you that they're in pain or they are hurting. And for me, being in my current relationship, it taught me more than my past relationship that I had where that spouse had truly deceased. He died. He passed away. And that was due to the lack of maybe information on his own behalf and a lot of I think it was being stubborn. He wanted help but didn't want to receive the help. You know, if you understand what I'm saying. He said he want help. It was spoken. We had conversations where he wanted help or basically needed me to help. I did my best. I wouldn't say I didn't. I did everything I could because, as you stated earlier, you in the healthcare field. You understand that I'm also in the healthcare field.
Mm-hmm.
So I see people from all ages, from all genres. It doesn't matter. We all, I feel like as we get older in life, sometimes the male and female to a certain extent, we take life for granted. We don't think that we're never gonna put ourselves in a position to where we need to make sure that we're taken care of, that we take care of ourselves. I do feel our bodies are a temple. You know,
Yes.
God gave them to us for us to take care of them. And sometimes the things we put in our body, the things we, you know, allow ourselves to go through along with stress, you know, and his situation was he stressed about a lot of different things to where the fluid, okay, he was having, let's get back to the point where he was having, basically, he had asthma, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And
Now this is the person that's deceased.
the
Or
person that's deceased.
hold up. I'm sorry. Your first husband?
Not my first husband. No, ma'am. This
Oh, okay. Continue on. Okay, because I was like, what?
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
continue
No,
on.
ma'am.
I'm sorry.
It was just someone, you know, I had been with and I dated him and everything. He
Oh,
was a
okay.
good guy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a lot of issues with his asthma. And what came about with that, fluid started to build up in him. And a lot of times he knew. He went to the doctor. The doctor told him certain situations. And I understand that a lot of people fear going to doctors because of medication. Some medications on different diagnoses are very expensive, depending on what it is. But I don't want that to be a fear because there's other ways you can get treated. You can get the medication that you need.
Mm-hmm.
He was more like, oh, they don't want to give me nothing. It was more like, I'm not going to get anything because he was doing contract type of work. So he didn't have a real secured job where he was able to get health care benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And by him not having that type of foundation for himself, he was like, I'm just going to do what I can, whatever it was. So, and it took a toll. It didn't take as much a toll on me then because I was younger versus now that I'm older. But then I was like, I was saying to myself, why would you not want to live? You know, why would you take that lightly? You know, why do you not want to do what needs to be done for you to get better? But, and then when that happened, he was like, I think you need to go head on. I mean, basically, he was like, I think you need to go head on and be with somebody else because I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do. And I literally did what he said. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I had to move on for my own self. But soon as I kind of moved on, but I didn't never actually stop communicating with him and everything, he passed away.
My previous podcast, I had a young man on here, and he talked about men and how, like you said, men are taught that showing any kind of a weakness is they don't want to show any kind of weakness. So going to the doctor or getting help, period,
Right.
is a sign of weakness to most men. So they won't go to the doctor. They won't go get help.
Right.
So that's the things I feel as though we need to start changing the narrative.
Yeah.
Changing the narrative of how you live your life, how you take care of your body. You know, what do we really define as a weakness?
Mm-hmm. True.
Because it's women like that too. They won't go to the doctor, living in fear. You know your body is something going on with your body, but you're so scared to go to the doctor because you don't know what's going to be told to you.
Yeah.
So you don't go. I have family members like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and nowadays, I think, especially for women, and I'm encouraging women and men, they changed the laws with colonoscopies. You know, I feel everybody need to go get them a colonoscopy. You know, they saying the laws are now you can be 45 to get that. You know, I've seen young kids coming in surgery centers and getting colonoscopies because they having rectal issues. I mean, just being honest, you
Yeah.
know. So it just to let you know, as we get older, our body is changing so much.
And relationships will change too. When
Yeah.
you're younger, of course, you don't think about, my husband's going to get sick and I'm
Right.
going to have to take. We don't think
Right.
about it because
Don't
we're
think
having a
about
good time. As I would say, we kiki and kaka,
Yeah, exactly.
and then boom,
Yeah.
something happens
Mm-hmm.
and we're not prepared.
Not prepared.
And in most cases, when, like I said, the husband and wife, it could end up in divorce because of the stress.
Yeah.
Stress.
Yeah.
Because you're going to come into a financial stress, especially if you were a 2-income home and now you one income. You have hospital bills plus your house or whatever else you have to maintain. That's stress on that one person.
Right.
And also for the well spouse, the resentment,
Yeah.
anger. You have to be able to process those emotions in a healthy way.
Yeah. And you have to learn how to communicate. That's the key.
Yeah,
You have to
communication.
communicate going through that, because when you're not able to communicate with your spouse, it's not only making you frustrated, but it overwhelms you.
Yeah.
You know, you're overwhelmed. And for me, I'm not frustrated, or I haven't been frustrated about my situation, because I'm gonna speak in my current situation, to where my gentleman friend, man, guy, fiance, he's going through sickness and illness, and he has things with his health for his heart conditions and stuff like that. I feel we all need to go once a year to have our hearts checked out. You know, get your lungs, get your kidneys, get your liver. You know what I'm saying? We doing a lot in this world, to where we work so much, we so busy, we putting different type of foods in our bodies. You don't know, from one year to another year, your body can totally change. You can be great in 1 month, and then the second month coming, or the next month coming in, it's like, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? And I can speak from experience for me. When I got my diagnosis, I wasn't in a relationship, but I had a good friend. But when I got my diagnosis, my cancer diagnosis, I just decided to tell him, just like your friend did,
Yeah.
hey, go on with your life, because I don't know what's going to
You
happen to
didn't
me.
want to put the burden on a person. Yeah.
And although he continues to call to this day,
Right.
but it was just the idea. I felt I was being selfish by wanting him to wait for me while I go through 6 months to a year of treatments and different things, and I didn't know how it was going to end.
Right.
So I couldn't expect him to be on hold.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, that's why as we have these conversations, because I look at it like, I ask myself, and I ask God, I say, Lord, I know, because we work in the healthcare industry. And by being in the healthcare industry, we're, like you said, we're nurturers by nature. And we're women.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we also understand that when you look at it like, I really want to treat people the way I would want to be treated. I really want to do right by people like I would want people to do right by me, And even while he told me to go on, I understood it, because he understood that it was a lot, And if he understands that he wasn't willing to, that's the key. You have to be willing to fight. It's okay for your well spouse to fight, but you have to be willing to fight for your life, for the life that y'all trying to build together. And I think that's where the stress lies with a lot of relationships, and as well as marriages, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're not getting the reciprocation of the energy of being able to, let's fight for us, let's fight for this. This is bigger than whatever we going through, you know.
Well, that was one of the things that I did find when I was researching this topic, is that, you know, each spouse will have a different experience.
Yes.
You know, just like you said, that's your experience. But from the sick spouse's experience, is going to be totally different.
Totally different.
They're probably scared. And I'm speaking from my gut. I was scared. I didn't know if I would be able to continue to work, provide for my family. I didn't know where we would end up. I didn't know anything. I hadn't prepared for that.
Yeah. He say the same thing.
See? Been on both sides.
He say the same thing.
I wasn't prepared.
He said the same thing. And that's why I say, in so many ways, Nikki, we have to show grace.
Mm-hmm.
We have to show grace.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard. It's hard on them. It's hard on us, but it's even harder on them because they have to experience it. They have to go through what it is that they're going through. Because like you're saying, it's a life. It's it's shifting your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a life change. Yeah, it's
a new chapter in your life. And that's the way that I took it. It's a new chapter in my life. So God, I don't know what's going to be the end, but I'm just going to go through it.
That's it.
But everybody doesn't have that thought process. No. I've run into people that were angry. Well, I got to take care of this person. It ain't my responsibility. Mind you, some people have been married 20, 30 years.
Yes.
I've seen it. I was like,
now, when you get married, I believe married is a different thing. Married is different because when you took an oath, you made a commitment
to death do us part.
That's it.
No, ma'am.
Through sickness
not
and
for
in
some
health.
people.
You know, now
some
you can't help. You can't help that someone becomes sick in the midst of a marriage. You can't. You married now. You married now.
That would require what an individual values or how they value their marriage.
Yeah,
everybody has different ways of thinking about their marriage.
Right.
And I think for the person that would leave their spouse when they're sick, their value is not in that marriage. Yeah. It's on something else in the marriage, but that's not it. The commitment they made to God.
A person they're not married. Because you said you told, just like I was told, you said your friend told you, you told your friend to go ahead on and live his life. So how do you feel about that, being not married?
That a person should stick with a person?
Yeah, just like you were saying with the marriage.
I think it's up to that person, but I wouldn't expect that person to, because we're not married.
Because it's
technically
not
we're single.
Mm-hmm. You're right. That's true.
We're not married, we single. And I learned that from brother-in-law. We single.
I say that all the time too.
Yeah. If I'm not married to you, then we single, so you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I can't force you to do anything, but if you make a commitment to me under the eyes of God, then I expect for you to keep that commitment. True. But we got to be equally yoked on that level.
That's right. I agree with that.
Yeah. But if I'm not married to you and you want to leave, it's going to hurt. Because, see, I wouldn't do that to you.
Right.
So it hurt. But why do you think, in the case of a husband and wife, why do you think the husband is quicker to divorce the wife if she becomes ill?
I think that because women, we have a lot of endurance. Mm-hmm. Men, they don't. Some men have patience. Some men can endure things. But there's a lot of men that they don't know how to take in what's going on. We, by nature, it's like we step up. We just step up. We just go into the flow. They all over the place. They trying to figure out, they calling cousin, sister, auntie, mama, whoever they can.
Trying to figure it out.
You already know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. She got this going on. They trying to figure everything out. We instantly take control.
But to leave that person when they're in their most vulnerable state,
They don't
why
yeah.
would
I just feel like they become cowards. Like you said, it's all about the mindset of that individual person on how they value the love and the relationship or the marriage that they have with that person.
Mhm.
You said that.
Yeah.
That was perfect. That hit that. Because if you don't, that's how I speak about when I'm in my relationships. Somebody say, what is it that you want more about your relationship? I want to be heard, respect, and valued. Love is already going to come there natural because when you know how to love, when you know how to value me, when you know how to respect me, you know what I'm saying? When you know how to hear me, not just listening to what I'm saying, you hearing what I'm saying, meaning you soaking everything in. You're allowing it to consume your spirit to where you can be the head of the house. You can lead. You can pray over me, pray for me, you know. Because you know a lot of times we do that for our men and they don't even know it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was a praying wife.
Right. We have to, I feel like you have to cover your mate,
Mhm.
you know, and when you learn how to cover, and I think it starts with self. We have to learn how to self-love us. We have to, men and women, when you know how to love on you, then you'll know how to love on someone else.
Yeah, that was a topic that I talked about, and I'm going to bring it back up again. Um, love thy neighbor as you love yourself, but if you're not loving yourself, how you going to love your neighbor?
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess it would take for you to get to know your mate or your person that you're with. If you're not
Significant other.
married, yeah, your significant other on a deeper level.
Yeah.
See, sometimes we stay at the surface level too
Too
long
long.
and we give people benefit of the doubt
Ooh.
till the doubt has gone out the window and up 16. But I'm
You
just saying,
know.
and it's too much. And then when
Yeah.
something happens, we in shock because it didn't go the way that we thought it was,
Yeah.
or we thought that it should go.
And that's why I said with the communication, it's allowing yourself, even in the beginning of your relationship and you get with someone, you got to have boundaries. You just have to set some boundaries with yourself, with the relationship, to understand that, okay, I'm going to give you grace, but I need you to show me who you are. Because like you say, sometimes we stay in that place too long.
Mm-hmm.
And then I read something where the man say we sit there with an expectation of somebody to be somebody else that you already seeing who that person is.
Yeah,
But you still sitting there waiting for the change.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You think that person gonna change, or you think that they know, but you have to be able to communicate your needs. So I do like this little class on boundaries because I've run into people that I now know have no boundaries.
Yes.
And those people are always stressed,
Yes.
anxiety through the roof. So you have to be in tune with yourself because you have to know what your needs are. And I tell people that I come in contact with that, we have a boundary. It's like a line in the sand. And then for some of us, we have a wavering boundary. It's like a zebra, like a Z. So the wavering boundaries are boundaries that you let certain people cross. You know they're crossing that boundary,
Yes.
and you let them. Why? Why not stick to that straight line? I call it straight lines. We let them cross those boundaries,
Yeah.
neglect our needs.
Wishful thinking, like I said, thinking it's gonna change. Trying to keep psyching yourself up to let you tell yourself that, I'm not perfect. So
Yeah.
they not perfect. So we allow, I think that's why I tell, Accountability is big.
Yeah.
When you can take accountability of what you allow versus what you don't have control over, because what we don't do, we don't have control over nobody.
That's true.
You only have control over yourself. You can't control what nobody else say, do, or anything. Even their feelings, you can't control that. We all entitled to how we feel. But at the same time, you have to be mindful and intentional about how you treat people and how things are going in that situation with someone else. Because when you with somebody, you're not by yourself. It ain't just about how you feel. You have to be intentional about how the other person feels.
And I was like researching videos, looking at different things, and I ran across this one video, and a light bulb went off for me. It said most men, they don't even like women. They like your body part, but the woman of herself, like the actual woman, they don't like us.
I've heard that.
So I asked a person one day, I said, have you ever loved any other woman besides your mother? It went in over the head because so how you gonna love somebody else? You don't even love your own mama. You don't love yourself. You don't love your own mother, even though y'all had this terrific relationship that you claiming. Now I know everybody don't get along with their mother, but I just use that for an example. Some people, I feel like use women as a means to an end. You get what you want from them and you go on about your business. It's a means to an end.
And that could be vice versa.
Women, it could be either way. Correct.
Because women can use men as a means to get what they want. And I think I've had that conversation before with people, men and women, about, I feel like I had men say, well, women want this and women expect that, and, but y'all have just as much as expectations as we do. Nobody's living in this world with not expecting anything. They're lying. Okay?
Yeah.
That's a lie. We all have some type of expectations of the person who we choose to spend our time with, or give our time to. Everybody, we expect these people to be rather not perfect people, but show us some kindness. Be friendly. I don't care what it is. If you want them to just say hi. If you speak in the morning and you see your coworkers, good morning. I mean, if I say good morning, I do pretty much expect you to say good morning.
Yeah, that's your expectation. We all,
you know what I'm saying?
You should have expectations. You should never go into any situation without some type of expectation.
Exactly. And to get back on that, like you're saying, but you definitely don't be expecting your loved one or your spouse or significant other to get sick.
That's correct. But it happens.
It happens. And that's something we all have to be prepared for. Because my grandmother used to always say, baby, keep waking up in the morning.
Keep living.
Keep living.
I was like, keep living. I had a coworker like, keep living, baby. She was like, oh, girl, I'm hurt. I'm like, I probably was about 21, 22.
Yeah.
Keep living.
Keep living. We all, and like I said, my significant other now, going through some health issues. And I tell him all the time, I don't fault him for anything that he's going through. But what I will have a concern with him about is if you're not staying on top of it.
So you were in a relationship and everything was going well, and then he got sick.
Yeah.
Right. So now you're like his caretaker, or how's the dynamics of your relationship now?
He still take care of himself. He's not where he's unable to take care of himself. Yes, it put us in a position where he's not able to work like he want to, but at the same time, I told him I just need him to stay consistent with taking care of himself. You can't you know, most men, he's the type of man, he wants to pay all the bills. And I ain't mad at that. I love it, you know. What woman don't, you know? But I'm not needing you to take care of me because I know how to take care of me. I need you to be here with me and enjoy life. So I'd rather you take care of yourself so we can take care of each other, meaning live life, enjoy ourselves, travel, do the things we want to do. You know, our kids are grown. This is perfect timing. I can get it. I can understand it if you have younger or smaller kids, but our kids are grown.
But you gotta look at it from I guess because you gotta go look at that podcast that I did last one. He said that a man doesn't feel like a man.
He told me that.
If he can't provide. So he can't even focus on what you're saying because right now he feel like everything is on you because he can't provide like he used to.
I totally agree with
So
him.
how do you deal with that attitude? But he don't, well, from what I've seen, he don't have an attitude. Like,
no. He's a more reserved type guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, that's my issue is always communication. He tells me everything or pretty much everything that's going on, or I find out on my own because I have access. And that's a lot of time. Women, men, we got to get access to your significant others, health records, things that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing is, before I got with him, I knew he had something going on, but you don't know the extent. You see what I'm saying? Because people can go years. They can have, like, some people walk around with high blood pressure. You don't ever know because they taking their medicine. Things are not spiking up or nothing like that, you know? So it can go years without you even knowing until something actually happens. Then that's when the light come on.
So how do you deal, like, day to day? I found some things that were suggested. The first thing is, like you said, open communication.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to communicate what you're feeling and being truthful with it.
Yeah.
You know, not being afraid to hurt that person's feelings. You have to be able to tell your spouse how you truly feel in any given situation, though. That open communication.
Yeah.
The next thing it says, it's a daily effort. Like you say, to discuss your health. Like you said, keep up with everything, doctor's appointments.
Making sure that
communication, daily, knowing everything is in order.
Yeah. Yeah. I ask him every day. Hey, how your day? He asked me. So we did that before there was any issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like if you with somebody or married to someone or y'all together dating, whatever it is, you should check on each other.
Of course. Yeah.
Every day. That should never stop. So we still do that. We gonna check on each other. I'm gonna check on him. How's your day? What you do today? What I did today? Or something like that. I mean, because at the end of the day, I just feel like anybody can be burnt out. He might be burnt out in his mind, like he tired of sitting here dealing with this. Like you said, you had that guy was saying how men feel. My man said that all the time. He's like, he want to give me the world. But you can't give me the world if you're not ready. If you're not where you need to be health-wise. Yeah. I'm not needing the world. I just need you.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
I need you to be here for us to enjoy the world together. Yeah. That's what I tell him all the time. He see that. And we have to be mindful, like I say, and I speak about intentional, is because you have to be, I know he's dealing with his own thing by himself. So we can't be selfish and just say, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him. I don't get mad at him. I just look at it like, hey, you need to stay up on this. That's all I can tell him. I need you to continue to do what you're supposed to do.
Yes. Taking care of your body, like you said, taking care of your temple, that's first.
Yes.
Self-care.
Yes.
I cannot preach enough the importance of self-care. Because sometimes when we're going through life and we're dealing with a lot of stress, issues and things, we put ourselves on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
But we cannot do that because at some point your body is going to break down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You couldn't tell me, I don't know, 10 years ago that I would be diagnosed with cancer. Who thinks about that? You know?
Yeah, I know.
And when it hits you, it makes you think about your life. Like you said, what have I done with my life? What can I do going
And
forward?
I remember when you told us.
Yeah. So.
And how you just kind of sheltered yourself.
I had to get myself together.
I know.
That was a lot.
I know.
Yeah, I had to get myself together. And I'm still sheltered now. I'm working on that. You know, I like to say I detox. My people battery go dead. And I need a recharge. And I go out by myself. And I pop back out. You know, that's how I do.
That's
I go out
right.
by myself.
You do.
And I pop back out. But that's me. Sometimes I have to process things.
I think we all need that's a good thing because I think we all need to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of times we just hear that at that moment, but we don't never take the time to process what we done heard or what we done found out.
Exactly.
You know, and even with dealing with him and even with myself, I had knee surgery. I've had, like I said, I'm going through post-menopause. It's just, I be looking at myself like, wait a minute, I got to get myself back. I got to think about this because I'm going through something.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him the same thing. I may not be going through what you're going through, but I'm going through something too.
And that menopause is serious for women.
Ooh, girl.
That's my next show. Menopause. I got a doctor that's going to come on and talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
I never got to experience that because I had, a hysterectomy and then when I had my cancer journey, they said I had no kind of, mine was like triple negative, like no hormones or nothing. So.
Well, I got them. I got hormones flying and I had I got a hysterectomy too. That's
really?
That's why
weird.
I'm going through it.
Wow.
Yeah. But
But anyway, you have to take care of yourself.
You got to take care of yourself.
Wow. But I also, when I was going through my journey too, people that I thought wouldn't be there actually showed up.
Yeah.
And that makes a difference. So the next thing that this article suggests is a support group.
Yeah.
That of which I did have, from doctors to nurses to family members, friends, whoever, they'll pick up the phone and call me. Co-workers, I might have said 3 words to would pick up the phone, Nikki, how you doing? Yeah. And that meant the world to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to talk about me. Tell me about you.
Yeah.
Let me live vicariously through you because I got too much other stuff going on. So I appreciated that, and I'm pretty sure someone else would too.
Yes.
That may be in those same shoes. So when you with someone and they become ill, put yourself in their shoes and think about all the things that they're having to deal with. You become sick. Like I say, you're not able to do the things you used to do.
Right.
You don't know, like you say, your finances going to be out of order. You worry about your job, especially you've been on your job for some years. And nowadays, most of these jobs will fire you. If you become ill and can't do the job, they're going to fire you and hire somebody else. So that's another reason why it's important to take care of yourself.
Yes, it is.
And recently, I had a coworker. He passed away, and I don't want his death to be in vain.
Right.
So I'm going to use his death to preach to you guys about this. He would come to work. He didn't feel good. He didn't want to call in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because sometimes the pressure of calling in, you think you're going to lose your job. But you weigh it on the scale. You're going to lose your job or your life.
Don't worry about money.
He never took off. Or then when he did decide to take off was, I don't know, some time later, it was too late.
Yeah.
It was too late.
Yeah.
So put yourself first.
Yes.
Some things can be on the back burner.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So now I take off every 3 months. Baby, I need a mental health day.
Exactly.
Shoot, I do, but before I didn't do that because I was always, I got to go to work. I gotta. If I don't have it, I don't need it. That's my attitude. And I've been blessed. I ain't missed nothing through COVID, all of that. If I ain't got it, I don't need it.
Yeah.
you know? So you have to take care of yourself.
You do.
Now, that's not going to stop you from becoming ill, because we all have to go at some point. We just don't know, which direction we're going to go, how we're going to go.
Exactly.
But you have to take care of yourself. Preparation. I tell people right now, I'm preparing my body for the next fight. That is, I'm eating right, exercising. I go to the doctor still. I'm doing things in preparation because I don't know what's going to come next.
Mm-hmm.
Like Savonia said, consistent. Be consistent.
Be consistent.
Men, you got to drop that weakness thought process.
Yeah.
I know it's hard, but you have to drop that. You have to pick a person that you can be vulnerable with. You can't be vulnerable with everybody.
Right.
Us women, we can't either. But if you're with that person and you trust that person, be vulnerable with them. Let them know if you're scared. Let them know, you don't know what to do. It's okay if you don't know what to do. Right. That's not a sign of weakness. To me, that makes you smart. Because if you don't know something and you're willing to learn, that's maturity. It's when you stay stuck a certain way.
Right.
That's the problem.
That is the problem.
Like I said, a car in neutral. It don't go forward, it don't go backwards. It's just there and the engine just running. And that would be you if you don't get the help that you need.
Yeah, it's very much so important. I mean, even me going through what I'm going through, I be going crazy. So I can only imagine what people that has, a much more severe diagnosis than I have. I'm not dealing with nothing that's like so much dramatic, but it takes a toll. That shift, that body change for me, that mood swings and all that stuff, mm-hmm. It makes me moody. And I can understand. It makes you depressed. It's a mental thing too. Because if not taking care of your body start messing with your mental state of mind.
Yes. Yes. Taking self-care is not just, like I said before, self-care is not just bubble baths and going to get your nails done.
And
self-care encompasses your mental, emotional, and spiritual needs. That's all entwined with self-care.
Exactly.
You cannot leave one out. You need them all.
You're right. You need them all. And someone asked me one day, what's your love language? I say all of them. I need them all.
Yeah.
When someone asks me that, they say, so in all that place, you need everything. Nowadays, you need it all. Mm-hmm. You cannot cut corners with yourself.
That's true.
Allow yourself to experience what you need for you. And like you're saying, self-love, take that time out. Like you said, you get to yourself, you don't, you just kind of be in hibernation. You hibernate mm-hmm. for a little while, let yourself just think about the things you need, the things you have to do for yourself. Yeah. When you do that, that's a part of self-care, taking the time out to think about your mental state of mind. Because if your mind is messed up, it starts trickling down to the body.
Oh, yeah.
And like we were speaking about stress happened. And that's why I say with him, he started worrying about stress. And I try to keep him at a settle. Don't stress. I got us. I just need you to make sure you good. Because long as you good, then once you get where you need to be, you going to have us back up where we need to be.
Yeah. Just keep preaching to him. He'll get it.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, he's a man. I like to say a man's man. He not with that, woman doing this, that. But he has to become accustomed to that. Because he's not the same person he was a year ago.
And this a recent thing. It's
I know. That's what I'm saying. He's going to have to be accustomed to it.
Yeah, it's not something that I had to deal with. It's just something recent. And he always say, and I like the positive that he's thinking now to where he say, it's going to get better later. We going to be all right. So long as he's saying that, and I told him, don't just tell me that so because it sound good and you think it make me feel good. Mm-hmm. I need you to believe in what you're saying.
Yes.
Believe in it. When you say things, speak it into your life. Not just speak it to the person, but speak it into yourself. Speak it into the atmosphere. God hears prayers. He hears everything. Mm-hmm. Speak it to yourself. Because at the end of the day, you know what's best for you and you know what you're trying to do. So strive to be better, do better, and just feel better.
And when you deal with your emotional and mental well-being, everything else is gonna fall into place.
That's it.
You know,
That's it.
those boundaries gonna come into place.
Yeah.
You know what you want in your life, and you know what you don't want in your life.
Right.
Your needs are being met in that aspect. That is important as well.
It really is. You know, I ain't getting no younger. Nikki, you ain't getting no younger. We're not getting no younger.
You ain't getting no younger, baby. I'm getting younger. What you talking about, girl?
That's
No,
right.
that's true.
We doing the what, Benjamin Button, huh? We reversing.
Okay. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
So,
so true.
like I said, if you have open communication, recognize the stressors in your relationship, and get good coping skills. It's a daily effort when you're dealing with someone that's ill, or it just stresses in your relationship. Period. It takes effort on both parts. It can't be one-sided. And when you're dealing with a person that is ill, you have to have patience.
Yes.
Every day I pray, Lord, give me patience.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when you're dealing with someone that's ill,
It's hard.
it's very difficult.
It is difficult. It's not
and
easy.
you try to look at things from their perspective, but at some point you will begin to feel neglected. And that's where the disconnect come in.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want. So, just be patient and try to deal with things daily, day for day. And that support group, whether, like I said, whether it's your friends, your family, it could be your pastor, your priest, whoever you can be vulnerable with, that's your support group. They are there to help you. And sometimes men, they don't like to take help because that is seen as a sign of weakness. But for me, I was like that. I'm so used to being
even
the
a
head
strong
of
woman.
Yeah, I'm the head of my household. I'm used to doing all the things on my own. If I ask somebody for some help, I really am down.
That's it. That's me right there.
So when people were giving me things, I was so emotional because I wasn't used to that. I'm always the one giving.
Right.
I've never been the one to receive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I still struggle with that now. But I have to say, Nikki, you deserve those things. Take them and be appreciative versus being suspect. I have to drop that attitude. Like, why you giving me that? What you doing? Why you opening that car door? What you doing? I have to think.
But then you really want them to do it. You really want them to do it, but you questioning.
Yeah, so that's the mindset, Well, the unhealed Nikki, but the healed version of Nikki don't think like that anymore.
Yeah.
But you will run into those things when you're dealing with someone that's, that's ill, that has been the head of their household.
Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, you just got to keep and keep being encouraging and keep being positive. Like you say, take that time out. When it get a little rough, get a little frustrated, you just take a little time out. I need some me time.
Mm-hmm. Do you do that?
Oh, baby, all the time. I do this. Look, I was doing me time before all that, so I'm going to still do me time.
That's right. That's right.
You can't stop because of something else happened. You can't stop. I always know what I've needed. I tell him, even before him, having to settle down and having to take his time on dealing with his health issues, you need your me time. I believe in that. I feel like everybody need a me time.
Of course, yeah. Like I said, I take my me time.
I take my me time, honey. I got to have it. I got to have my me time because that keeps me grounded.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And my me time a lot of times now lately is just really just getting to myself, asking God to just show me the way, how to be better, how to do better. What is it that I need? Because a lot of times we don't even know our purpose.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
God, give me my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Show me my purpose.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's very valuable. I feel like we need it. We need it. You can't continue to move in life without taking time out for yourself.
Yeah, that's true. And I just thank God for diet and traveling.
Yeah.
Because I need that.
Yeah,
at least twice a year, I'm going to take 2 trips out of the country somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I don't know about now, but yeah, I do that. And it's just like a whole reset for me. I come back brand new.
Exactly.
So like I said, every 3 months I'm going somewhere. It might not be out of the country, of course. That's a bit much, but I'm going to do something where I can go off and be by
Like a little
myself and
getaway.
recharge. Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't care if it's just 45 minutes from here.
Exactly.
Or it might be at the park and sitting in my car.
That's it.
But I'm going to get that recharge. I call it a recharge.
That's it. That's a good call for it.
Yeah, a recharge. I was reading in the Bible where Jesus, in the middle of the night, he would go off and be by himself.
Yes.
So I said, well, if Jesus could take time from his busy day to go off by himself, meditate, and do the things he needs to do, why can't we?
Totally agree.
But we'll put ourselves on the back burner. That's a bad, bad mistake. I did it for years. I won't do it now.
I would definitely tell anybody, women and men, go to the doctor. I feel it so much now, especially in our community. You know.
Break the stigma of, oh, you go to the doctor because you don't have to necessarily be sick to go to the doctor.
No.
You go to the doctor so if something is going on with you, they can catch it early.
Exactly. That's the thing.
And keep going. You don't have to go once a year. They check you out. You're fine. You go on.
Yeah.
Or if you need something, you can get it. But a lot of people in our communities, they won't go to the doctor. Like I said, they don't want to live in their truths. They're scared they're going to have some kind of disease or something, and there you go.
You know, and it was told, well, you know, people be saying stuff. I've heard even older people say, well, we gonna die or something. I say all the time, you right, we gonna die one day. What it is, I don't know, but I ask the good Lord every day. I ain't ready to go. I know you. If you need me, then I ain't got no choice. But I tell him every day, Lord, I ain't ready to go.
Yeah.
So give me the will to get up and do what I'm supposed to do for myself.
And my thought process is this: God, I don't know how much time I have on this earth, but while I am on this earth, I want to live in my purpose that you designed for me. Let me walk in that purpose. So when my day comes,
that's right.
No regrets.
No regrets.
And with that being said, I want to thank you for coming on today and sharing your truths.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So if this information helped you, or maybe it can help someone else, please like, share, subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing. Your support is greatly appreciated. And we will talk again next week.